So
Love it.
So let's just review that. The first terrain for life happened to be the primordial ocean. It
Salty water.
is the terrain. Now you kind of have an idea.
Saline.
Oh, it's the thing that gives sustenance to living things.
To life.
That's it. So
Can I have my own recap though? Like just so
Yeah,
I understand this?
because
Sure.
I'm on the layman's terms.
Yeah.
So we know that our bodies are made up of water, okay? And we know that we are made up of trillions of cells. These trillions of cells have to communicate with each other. The way that they do that is via electricity, electric impulses in this medium.
That is correct.
And if for the viewer, just a little simple kind of example on electricity through water, if you throw sodium in the water, it magnifies the conductivity of the water,
Greatly.
right? So then, therefore, if the primordial ocean was made of these 72 elements, these 72 elements are in our body. This is what magnifies the communication with cells as they communicate to do the different physiological functions in your body, like pumping your heart, like breathing, like digestion, all that stuff. So it's the medium that magnifies the communication between cells and the electricity thereof. Yes?
Yes, but
Right.
I'm going to say one thing. It just doesn't
go to the head of the
magnify.
class.
It essential.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
without it, to me, the magnify means without it, you could exist.
Correct.
You can't exist,
can't exist.
without this.
Correct.
It's essential
Yes.
You would be
to
dead.
life.
You can't function without electrolytes,
Yes.
which are the electricity of the system.
And by the way, for the viewer, our tears are saline, our pee
Yeah.
is saline, our semen is saline. So
Yes,
all
sir.
our bodily functions
Everything.
are made up of this water.
Water with
With
electrolytes.
electrolytes.
So I think we're good. I
Good.
think we get the
Good.
concept of how important the
God.
terrain is,
And
water, electrolyte, why salt is always important. You know, every biohacker knows that, electrolytes are important. So we're trying to go deep into really understanding where that came from. So beautifully said. Now how does it make sense within the physiology of cells? I think that's where you will go.
Okay, so there was a point, since we're looking at these first cells existing in an environment called the ocean. But there's a point in which life left the ocean. Okay? Life left the ocean as as plants first, and then it left the ocean as reptiles, animals, etc., etc. The ocean with its electrolytes so protected life because it provided an environment that was incredibly safe, incredibly conductive, and other things grew in it, and there was this agreement among species. But when life left the ocean, wow, how did that all happen? Well, life left the ocean and changed, but how did it keep all those benefits? It kept the benefits by taking the chemistry and properties of the ocean and bringing it inside.
Ooh.
And that's why scientists call it your internal ocean. Okay?
Ooh, say that again. So we all have an internal ocean
We have an
that
ocean,
supports our life.
and that is how life adapted to a terrestrial existence outside of the ocean.
Interesting.
Okay? It's interesting, if you look at the electrolytes that are in your body, there's like 12 primary electrolytes. We're going to keep it simple, even though there's over 70. 12 primary electrolytes. They just happen to be in the same proportions. No one even knew this until the 20th century as the electrolytes in the ocean.
Wow. Oof.
That's it.
Okay?
So say that again.
Amazing.
So our intracellular fluid,
Not intra.
No.
This is extra.
extra, most of our extracellular fluid, and we're thinking even like plasma, right? Everything, as you said, our
Absolutely.
tears have close to the same composition as the ocean, as seawater.
More than
More-
close.
yeah.
More than close.
More than
Almost
close.
identical.
So we carry
I mean,
the
like,
ocean
wow.
with us.
Yeah.
I love that. We carry
the
the
ocean.
ocean with us.
So
and that saying, you have to realize that you're a drop in the ocean.
God, this is
and
Rumi.
the whole
This is my
ocean
favorite.
in
You
a
know,
drop,
What?
right? What
the
is it?
Sufi poet Rumi said
Ah,
that
of
we're
course.
not just a drop in the ocean. we are the whole ocean in one drop.
And it's
Right on.
inside
And
of us.
this is more even like from the metaphysical, more the mind and the spirit, but that goes also for physical body, right? We carry the ocean inside of us.
We
That's
carry
what
the
sustains
ocean
life.
inside of it. So we're just going to tell you 60 to 70% of us by weight are functional fluids, meaning they do all kinds of stuff for us derived from the ocean. That's it. We brought the ocean from externally to internally,
And we were
our
born in it.
internal ocean.
Yeah.
And that internal ocean is the word internal ocean is just another one of the many words for the terrain.
The terrain.
Okay?
The milieu. Oh,
So we have
I
now
love it.
the terrain, we have the milieu intérieur, we have the terrain,
The terrain.
terrain, and we now have the internal ocean.
So this is what hooked me about electrolytes and why I chased down Dr. Everyone about this product, right? So as I understand, because this is a little complex for
Yeah.
people to understand, and I want
Certainly.
you guys to visualize, again, you have the intracellular fluid, which is the fluid that's inside the cell, and within a cell, you can speak about days of how many functions are within that cell. So all that fluid, there's electrolytes in there, and which is more than 2/3 of your weight, of body weight, all that fluid's inside that cell.
Yes.
Then you have the extracellular fluid, which is the fluid surrounding all the tissues outside, like interstitial fluid, which surrounds all the organs. And then you have the vascular fluids, which are the plasma. So inside your plasma, for when we're taking nitric oxide, we're taking hormones, anything we're taking
Amino
needs to
acids.
travel through the blood, which that's called the plasma, which is a vascular fluid, which is also made of electrolytes, right?
Yes, it is.
And then the last one that I was confused on is the transcellular fluid, which those are the fluids that are within the spinal cord, within the joints, within the cavities of the heart and the lungs, all the tiny microspaces that we can't get into. So all of those spaces, all of those fluids are made of electrolytes. And without electrolytes, no hormones, no peptides, no supplements,
Amino
no,
acids.
no molecules that we can take will be able to work without this electrolyte
Absolutely.
component. Correct?
Correct.
All right.
Awesome.
Happy we cleared
Thank you
that
for
one
that.
up.
I know you cleared it up for me.
Completely clear that, yeah. And again, that's what, again, why those electrolytes you were saying about the electrical conduction, because the way our trillions of cells communicate for biological action to happen is that there's exchange of ions, positive and negative charge. All this needs to be done within the water, within the internal ocean. So again, when we talk about, do you need hormones? Do you need nitric oxide? Do you need omega-3s? Yeah, you need those. But at the base of everything, you need water and electrolytes at the right concentration, the tonicity of that water that now we've found out not too long ago that it is the almost exact same composition as the primordial ocean, as the ocean.
Now, question.
And proportion wise, because the proportion, even though the sea over time became more concentrated due to more minerals dissolving from the earth, okay? We formed the Grand Canyon, all that went in the ocean, and so on and so on and so on. So even though the concentration increased in the ocean over time, from the time that the earth was dry, the concentration increased, but the proportions remained the same. So
Now-
our proportions of electrolytes are even the same as the current ocean.
Wow.
And one of the things that we always tell patients, because this is, and for those of you watching who have spoken to us before, like when we're talking about the terrain, when we're talking about the environment, we're talking about longevity, anti-aging, all this stuff, like we always make the sort of analogy that, hey, if I gave you a mango seed and you planted it in downtown Miami, or I gave you a mango seed and planted it in the middle of the Amazon, which one would bear more fruit? Which one would bear better quality fruit? We all would know that it's the Amazon because
This
of
is a great
because
example.
of the environment, the soil, the climate, like everything that's,
In other words, we can call that the terrain,
the
is
bioterrain.
everything.
the terrain is everything. So now the way that I like to think about it, because for me, cognitive energy is very important. So the way that I always think about it is think about how you think. neurons come close together. They never really touch, and they emit an electrical impulse called the synapse. That synapse is not, it doesn't travel in air, it travels in
The fluid.
the fluid. And the fluid is made up of all these minerals that make, they conduct that electricity.
Exactly.
So as we age, and because, some of the things that we'll talk about are toxic environment and all this stuff, like the mineral quality can diminish, and then so now you have a polluted environment.
That's where we're going right
Okay,
now.
good.
So yeah, that was a question I was gonna. Thank you. You actually said exactly what I wanted to say. But we have to maintain all these essential minerals and trace elements. By the way, I didn't know this. In case you don't, essential minerals are macro, the big ones. Trace elements are the micro ones, the tiny ones. So at all times, for that electrolytic communication throughout every single space in our system, biological systems, all that balance needs, all those electrolytes and trace elements need to be proportionally balanced in the blood and in the system. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to function.
That is, and I think the greater problem for modern humanity, okay, and your patients and your families and so on, is the fact not just that they're not balanced, we can get to that later, that they're not all there.
Yeah.
Right.
That you don't, we showed you this bounty of the periodic table. Probably very few of you actually get it into your body. And we're going to talk. Why?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think exactly we're here. So I think we talked about what are electrolytes. I think we got a pretty great discussion. We know what they are. Came in from the table of elements. Now tell us, why do we need electrolytes and why can't we get it? Because the average person will tell you, well, just eat vegetables, like drink green juice.
Add some
why
salt,
can't
Himalayan
we get
salt.
it? Himalayan salt. So why are they important? Why can't we get them?